Hey, this is Russ Payton with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Heart, the City Beneath. But I'm not running the game. The person who wrote the game is running the game, Grant Howitt. I'm here with Caleb and Baz, and we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna go great for our delvers.
It's not going to, and that's like hello, listeners. I'm Grant Howitt. I wrote Heart, the City Beneath with my co-author Christopher Taylor. And like Christopher, I am a sucker for attention and publicity, so I'm here. Chris is sitting quietly at home, as far as I can tell, not doing work in the evening. But I'm here, and I'm here to run Heart, the City Beneath. Heart, the City Beneath is a Emmy-nominated, don't know whether it won yet when this is recorded, role-playing game about the hubris of dungeon crawling, as players play a sort of like a bunch of high-grade weirdos descending into a red, wet heaven, this strange rift in reality that roils beneath the storied, mile-high city of Spire. We made our characters in the last session. I don't know whether that's been released or not, given the sound quality of my own recording. But if it hasn't, don't worry. We will offer a précis, a short form of all the characters. But before then, let's get to it. In the land of Destera, on this strange unnamed planet, there's a city called Spire, a mile-high city, strange, perverse, riddled with gods and cults and corruption. You were all once in Spire, all of you, but you've decided to flee that place. For reasons which we may explain during play or might come up, you've all been cast out of the city above, or fought your way out of the city above. And you've decided to descend to the city beneath, the heart. So normally the heart is this, as I described, this red, wet heaven, is the phrase we use. But Baz is playing a cleaver, and he's playing a heartsplit cleaver. A heart song cleaver, and so he gets to define a bunch of stuff about the heart. And so last session, Baz said that the heart is represented by a knife. So this heart is sharp. This heart is scintillating. This heart is strange. This heart is a scalpel that cuts through reality. This heart is a razor which opens up a vein and then plumbs in an artery and pumps unreality the wrong way. That I've run out of biology knowledge. But it is a strange place, and you've decided to go into it for your own reasons. You've been hired on your journey as delvers. You take on odd jobs now and again to pay the bills, to keep yourself in whiskey or drugs or bees or whatever it is you're into. And you've been hired by a woman called Gallow, gnoll. She is a tall, lithe, quite almost like very tense, gnollish woman, with her hair tied back in a series of her mane, because gnolls kind of have a mane, tied back in a series of plaits. And she is an academic. She has told you that she ended up in the heart after an interdimensional mistake, is kind of the only way she says it. You know that the gnolls back in El Mara, their hometown, home nation, home city, are very much into applied eschatology, interdimensional theory, demonology, jinn magic, that sort of thing. So the fact that one of them was marooned here and is trying to make the best of it is not entirely out of the ordinary. She speaks Desteran with a thick accent I am not going to replicate. No, sorry. She speaks Desteran with the air of someone who's been to finishing school in Spire, maybe, or in happier times. And she has hired you to help her return a library book. She speaks of this great, mysterious library down deeper in the heart There is this is game terms rather than in character terms, but you are currently on tier 1 of the heart, and your delve will take you down to tier 2. Heart goes to tier 4, at which point we stop trying to describe what it was, and that's kind of the end zone of the game. So you are descending deeper into chaos as part of this. She says that this strange library is far, far beneath you, and you have heard of this. You are not unseasoned delvers yourselves, and so you have agreed to accompany her and provide her protection as she goes to give back this heavy looking book. It's like imagine like a wizard's tome, and then lay on like those nice metal bits they put on the side of like they put on the corners of the book, and like it's triple locked and it's humming slightly, and you can see that there is a picture of what looks to be a beautiful masked man on the front of it, etched into the leather, impressed into the leather, and you are taking her down to the library to drop her book back off. Our adventure starts. We are in the... Let me get my notes up. Her offices, I suppose, are in a place colloquially just known as Bone. Bone is a series of giant leviathan behemoth creatures which died here thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago. They're just skeletons now. And so the entire thing is almost like a human centipede style thing where like they've tried to eat each other and then died, and so you're walking out of the ribs of one and down the spine of another, these enormous creatures. Her offices, her research station, her research center is in there, and she has been drilling out the opalized bones of these creatures and trying to discover if she can determine whatever past apocalypse destroyed them, and if she can learn something from that. And we're walking through Bone. We're walking down, we're picking our way down the corridor. Who do we see surrounding Sister Gallowglass? Now let's go with Dolwyn first.
Hello. Yeah, I am Dolwyn. I'm still wearing very once colorful mercenary fatigues that speak to my past as a mercenary working for the nobles, but a human covered in bees. Just a bit of a hive going on in the torso area. Bees crawling on my eyeballs and my cheeks, and it doesn't bother me though. So rather,
do you have any means of keeping them in, or are they just sort of going about their business? Sorry, that was the last one. Sorry, are they just going about their business?
Yeah. I feel like if we get through this game with less than like 12 bee puns, I think we'll be doing well. I would say they're running free, but they're very well behaved bees. They're very polite bees, so you don't have to worry about them unless I want them to kill you. See,
Gallowglass. Yeah, that's the second one. Gallowglass is fascinated by them. I quite like the idea that deep apiarists in this version of the heart are pretty rare. Yeah. In that, despite the fact that like this isn't your first meat hell rodeo. Like you're the only deep apiarist you know, and I think like one of the reasons, like one of the fundamental parts about your character is that you were interested in getting the bees out, and so I quite like the idea that that's that you are strange and fascinating, even by deep apiarist standards in normal heart, and so yeah, Sister Gallowglass is fascinated by the bees. One of them is crawling over her furred knuckles and her painted talons. She seems very taken with both the bees and you.
Yeah. I eventually I want to move past having, being possessed by bees, but they're very useful right now. I am trying to avoid the bees were the only ones to help me in a very desperate part of my life. So hopefully I can move past that at some point. But we're happy to help you, Gallow Glass. Yes. So yeah, the way I see Dolwyn is that, even though he was a mercenary, he spent more time being a servant to the aristocrats. So he's more in common with somebody from the show Entourage than like an actual like fighter or warrior. And he was hired because he was the right height to fit the uniform, because the last mercenary died of the gout or something.
There was a pleasingness to your jaw.
Yeah, exactly. And so but after he saw the ritual, he had to flee, and only the bees helped him then. And he'll pay the bees back, and then he'll be free.
Sister Gallaglass asks you all sorts of questions about your bees, and writes down the answers in a little notebook with a pen. Mm-hmm. Behind the pair of you, there's a strange looking character. There's the cleaver named Rigel. Can you tell us a little bit about Rigel, Baz?
Yep, is a very tall gnoll, 6'7", dark gray fur with the exception of a large red stripe of blood red fur that runs down his back and head. Doesn't say much. Reflects on, like, notices small things that others wouldn't, and just kind of like notes it down, like the way the apiarist looked at him one time. He took note of that, but he doesn't say much.
Sister Gallaglass has attempted to speak to you in a wide variety of Gnollish languages: Nujabian, Almarahian. Some stuff even further south, a sort of pidgin cobbled together language from the southern coast of Horizon, where the humans trade with the gnolls. You don't speak any of them. Nope. You were born in the heart, and you'll die in the heart. She finds you fascinating as well as this very strange, very tall, odd-looking gnoll. You got pitch black eyes, right?
Yep.
Pitch black eyes and like hands which are kind of glittering in and out of reality.
Yes, I'm very strange.
You're a very strange character, but this is a very strange place, and it's good to have someone to guide you through there. I'd imagine in this area you will be taking point. This is an area I'm deciding is cursed. So part of the way that Heart works is that you assign a domain to every location, person, thing that you find. As you progress through Bone, you can see that there are cracks in the bones. There are, and rather than the opalescent, diamond hard stuff which Gallowglass was talking about before, this sort of kind of a mixture between tar and snot is bubbling up out of them or dripping down out of them. It is like there is a definite stink to it, like a tire fire almost to it. And you especially, seeing as you have a cursed domain, Rigel, you can tell this isn't great stuff to put your hand in. This is pretty unpleasant stuff. And then bringing up the rear, gazing longingly into the middle distance, we have Adaraxia in flames. Tell us about Adaraxia.
Adarax is probably wearing his nicest suit he stabbed himself in the chest in, that has been reduced to chatters.
Have you cleaned around the sword that's stuck in your chest?
Yeah, I mean, I probably wiped that up.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, he's got his rifle safely contained in a sling in his backpack, but his painting easel ready for quick deployment on his shoulder. gotta stay tactical. Yeah, and he's just trying to see what his veiled mask death does around this gnoll lady to determine whether he takes the job, because that's basically how he decides what to do with his life now. Follows her around.
You have decided to take the job, otherwise I would have to come up with a different one.
What did she do to the gnoll lady
what did she do?
to indicate approval? Yeah.
Your death is a sort of a banshee wearing multiple masks in the form of your ex-girlfriend, from what I can recall.
Yeah.
She hovers as Gallow Glass is speaking and sort of like writing down things in her notebook about all of you, and obviously like weighing the odds and describing it to you. You can see your death emerge out of the wall behind her, and then lean down over her. I'd like to imagine your death doesn't touch anyone else, but she is millimeters away from Gallow Glass. She leans down over her, and her hair again just scant centimeters from brushing Gallow Glass's shoulder. She looks down into the book which Gallow Glass is writing down notes in, and then she moves alternately very, very smoothly, very gently, like a diaphanous curtain caught in the wind, and then she does some real grudge shit when she looks directly at you. The head pops up, and she with the main mask over her face, she looks directly into your eyes and nods with her head at about a 45-degree angle.
Good enough for me.
Yeah. She approves, so that's great. She is floating behind. Does she speak to you, your death, or is it more of a...
Oh, no. I have to glean everything from movements. That's why I'm so into painting. Yeah.
I see, yeah. Mm-hmm. She's largely uninterested in this delve. And so, rather than following you around and, gently cradling your chest until she can kill you properly, you see her every so often standing, looking out over these sort of these vast pools of bubbling tar, or these strange, corrupted, opalescent forests of bone. It looks as though she's contemplating a landscape painting, which you may want to paint to impress her later. There's no rules for that, but you may want to impress your ex-girlfriend Banshee.
Yeah, if Gallow Glass doesn't need me, I will be painting a scenic vista while they organize the pace.
Gallow Glass does need.
Okay, yeah.
This is a delve. So this is a there basically there's two kinds of place you can be in the game of Heart. There's a delve and there's landmarks. And landmarks are semi-stable places where people live or where things exist in a way where you can leave it and then come back and it's the same. Delves are much more fluid. They are the conceptual space between two landmarks. So they are different every time you go down them. The Heart is this strange extra-dimensional entity which wants you to be here. It wants to give you what you want, whether you know you want it or not. And so it is going to create itself around you and you every time you come out into it. And there's some wiggle room, and the more people you bring and the more times you traverse a delve, then the more stable it becomes. But right now, this is pretty unstable. So you are picking your way down the edge of a... Actually, no, you know what? Adarax, give me a discern check, please. This will be discern plus cursed. Because everyone else is sort of picking their way forward, and you are looking out over the landscape, considering which would be the most beautiful one to paint to maybe get your death to take off a 7th death mask.
So that would be a D10, right? Since I don't have a relevant skill or domain.
If you don't have the skill domain, that's just a straight D10.
All right, cool. I got a 5.
A 5.
I don't see anything, but I take some stress. Yeah.
Anything. By the way, can I swear on this show?
Oh, sure.
Great. Okay, cool. Mark 2 stress to fortune, please.
Got it.
So just to explain the mechanics for those listening at home, you always roll 1d10 because you're not terrible at whatever it is you're doing. You've then got you add an additional d10 if you have the relevant skill, which are things like hunt, kill, sneak, mend. And then you add another dice if you have a relevant domain, things like desolate, cursed, haven, occult, that sort of thing. And also there's some extra dice, there's some rules which you can push you up to 4, but that's really all you need to know. If you roll a 6 or higher, then it's good. If you roll a 8 or higher, then it's good and you don't take stress. Unfortunately, Adarax was so enamored with looking at this, the essence of decay as this beautiful crystalline opalescent, almost like a fractal growth is moldering down into this strange pitch, sticky, snotty, runny substance. That's how you feel sometimes, and you are unable to see the as the camera sort of pans across everyone else. You can see there's these two. I was about to say a series of eyes start lighting up in the dark, but it's the same creatures as Rigel's eyes, and we've already established that they're pitch black. So you don't see a bunch of eyes open up in the dark.
They could be eyes blacker than the dark.
Blacker than the dark. Blacker than the dark. These eyes open. And we can also see there is a single sort of a glowing glyph shines out into the darkness, and the sound of scuttering around. But we continue down. We continue down through the forest of bones and down into you are heading towards a place called Hubris is the name of the landmark you're going to. Hubris is on the way to this grand library. And you know that Hubris is down here. This isn't a particularly difficult delve. As long as, and if you didn't have Sister Gallow glass to keep safe, then you would be. This would be pretty much do it with your eyes closed. But unfortunately, you do have Sister Gallow glass, and she's poking on. She's poking. She spots a particularly interesting growth of this opalescent material, and walks off near this tar pit. When there is this horrible wet noise as two hands as black as the tar that they are made of burst out of the tar pit next to her and grab at her her skirts and her coat. She panics and screams and starts clawing down. What do any of you do?
I run to her aid with my hunting knife.
Cool. Are you going to try and cut the arms off? Are you going to try and drag her away? What's your plan?
Yeah, I wanted to try to. I'm trying to push her away while cutting at the arms.
Okay. Give me a check. So this will be it'll be kill plus cursed. So if you have the kill skill, that's one dice. If you have the cursed domain, that's another.
So 2d10?
2d10. Roll them bones.
I rolled a 9 and a 1.
Fantastic. And 9 is all you need. Your knife bites down. What's your hunting knife look like, by the way?
It is a bone handle.
Okay.
With a rib bone as the blade that's been sharpened to a razor point.
I like the idea that it has like power over bones and flesh.
Yeah.
And you can sharpen bone to the point where it will keep an edge. Yeah, okay, cool. You stab down into this creature's arm, clean through the arm meat, and there's this splotch of tar which squirts out. It looks like you've severed an artery in the arm. This pitch black blood sprays out onto your face and coats your teeth. It tastes kind of like home, which is nice, but also it It tastes a bit like, as I said earlier, a tire fire. This is a pitchkin. Pitchkin are people who have who became so sick with a particular Spire Black sickness. Spire Black is kind of imagine like phlegm. It's like it's flammable, explosive phlegm which grows naturally in Spire. It's kind of an industrial runoff, or the city purifying itself. These people got so much on them and got so sick from breathing it in that it's sort of taken them over and changed them. But these are pitchkin, and they are attracted to the light of Gallow Glass's lantern, which swings around. There's Spire Black in there, and they want some. But this one now has one less arm than usual, and cries out and stumbles back into the tar pit. You can see around you now you can see these darkling eyes coming out, these strange sort of like none of them are taller than 5 foot. These quite small creatures moving on all fours, some of them clinging to the ceiling, and these sharp, jagged teeth starting to close in on you. What do any of you do?
Oh, there's a group of them, you say? And
There's a group of them, yes.
All right. Well, I think this is a good time to release the swarm.
Excellent.
It does have spread on it, so yeah. All right. So this is a curse domain, so I don't have that, but I do have kill. So
you don't have kill yet. Are you trying to scare them off? Are you trying to clear a path through? Are you trying to be effective or showy? Are you just firing at the first thing you've seen?
I'd ideally like to just scare them off. So I don't really care so much about like destroying them. I just want to get to hubris, man. Like I really need to get to that library. That sounds pretty useful. Yeah. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, roll a bones.
Oh fuck! 2 4s.
Oh, pair of 4s. That's the stuff. Okay,
Yep.
Cool. Your bees flood out of you. So I need to do some stress for you. Oh, that's the stuff. Your bees flood out of you. Rolled a 6 there, listener. Your bees flood out of you. What does it feel like when you release the hive?
They're part of my body mass now, so it feels like I'm emptying myself out, which is disconcerting. I don't like that. That's when they come back that I feel more whole, and I mean that's comforting, but also why that shouldn't be. So yeah, it's just disconcerting. The whole process is disconcerting.
Absolutely,
but, yeah.
You charge forward in an attempt to sort of clear a path through, just so you can get to hubris and get to that library, and maybe just get safe before you die. And your bees rush out of of orifices, both existing and new, swarm over one of these pitchkin. Now they do sting one of the pitchkin to death, which is great, but not in a way which really bothers them. In as much as the others cry out in anguish, but they're not scared; they're angry. One of them. Are you taking point now after a cleaver went in to help Gallow Glass?
Yeah, I was stepping forward and be like trying to cover Rigel as he was working to free our client.
One of them shoves aside the bee stung, bloated corpse of this one and lunges at you, lands on your shoulder, and you feel these jagged teeth bite down into your shoulder. It's going to roll for fallout.
So I guess that was blood.
That was blood. Oh, congratulations! You
Awesome.
take fallout. In Heart, every time a character marks stress, I roll a d12, and if it's under their stress, they take fallout. I should have done that for Adarax earlier, but I forgot because I haven't run Heart in about a year. So I'll do you in a little bit. However, I get to if I roll under your stress. So first off, clear half of that stress. You're down to 3 blood stress.
Okay.
Which is great, and then you pick a minor blood. You take a minor blood fallout. I'm just going to look these up and reacquaint myself with them. Fallouts come in minor, major, and critical. Critical ones kill you. Minors aren't quite so dangerous, though. You have bleeding. I think. At the end of each situation where you have this fallout, mark D4 stress to blood. This is ongoing, so you are bleeding. But that's less of a problem than the fact that this basically a sort of tar gremlin is latched onto your shoulder, and as it bites down, you can feel the your shoulder's empty. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it bites down on the honeycomb structure of your shoulder and rips it out, and you start bleeding blood and honey running down your arm. All right, Adarax. Time to do something exciting.
You said that they want the Spire black and the lamps?
Yes, they are.
So does that mean they're flammable?
They're hugely flammable, yes.
Is one of them, like, does Gallow Glass still have her lamp after she was attacked? Or did she drop it?
Whatever you think is more interesting.
I will try and shoot ones passing near a dropped lamp. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yes. Gallow Glass is sort of taking cover with Rigel and gathering herself, but she did drop the lamp, and you can see the disembodied hand which Rigel sliced off is wetly crawling toward the Spire Black still. But yes, you can. In fact, it's probably better if you went and picked up the lamp and threw it somewhere, because at present it's kind of off to the side.
What skill would that be?
It'll all be part kill.
I will do that then.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Give me a check. This will be kill, cursed, and if you succeed, then we'll work out what this does.
All right. I got an 8.
An 8, fantastic, delightful. You throw the lamp overarm into a crowd of these guys. The ones which are sort of like not cheering, but like chittering and smashing wet tarry fists against rocks. As one of their number tears out Dolwyn's shoulder, and it cracks open, and there's this dull. Give me a D8 stress, please.
Okay. Oh, I always forgot the little thing. I don't have a D8 on me. 4.
Okay, cool. This is enough to really freak them. It cracks open. There is a dull wet explosion, and these guys are hurled away from it. You get the impression that either they put the lamp out first, or this is part of it for them. You're not entirely. It's not like they don't strictly operate on the logic that you do. But there is now a hole ready to rock for you to exploit. Gallow Glass turns to you, Rigel, and says, "We have to move. We have to help your friend."
Yes, we might want to do that. Dolwyn, how are you?
Losing body mass. I don't like this. The hive doesn't like this.
Come here, I'll fix you.
Oh, okay.
There is currently a gremlin, a pitchkin gremlin on him.
Oh, he's still on.
That was the noise I was making. Yeah, it's still on him.
Bring me your friend, Dolwyn. I'll take care of him.
I will try and shamble over there. Give an opening so Rigel can shank this thing.
Yeah. Okay. You managed to pull yourself to your feet and gripping this thing with 2 hands, stumble over towards your cleaver. You gonna have a shank, Rigel?
Yes, I'm going to attempt to stab him in the head and just pull him off of him.
That's 2 dice.
A 6 and a 3.
Okay. So you succeed, but you mark stress. That is a good old timey D6 stress. Oh, another 6! Oh, look at that! Oh, what a great time for everyone this is. It's major fallout. Oh,
where do I apply that stress at?
Don't worry, it goes because you take major fallout.
Yay!
I believe. Yes. No, sorry, you won't take minor fallout. Stick it on blood, and then write down 3 as I'm going to give you your own problem.
Don't worry, I have men. The bees can fix it. They can fix anything. we can fill all the wounds with wax. Better than bandages.
Absolutely. You have. Okay. Roll me stress, please, on this individual thing. You succeed, but take stress. So roll it. Let's see how well you did, and then we'll look at the description.
The D12, correct?
I don't
We're talking about
damage. Oh, so it'd be your knife damage.
Mine is D6.
Okay, give me a roll.
3.
3, more than enough to off one of these little buggers. This seems to be some sort of champion, as it were. So after it detaches from Dolwyn's shoulder, it bites down into your arm, and you're able to sort of off it quite easily with your it bites into your offhand. Basically, you're able to stab it to death fairly easily. But you are battered now. So any offensive action you make in combat becomes risky, which means I get to take your highest dice.
Okay.
Great. There is a blood spreads out from the gash in your arm as you sort of throw the limp, wet body to one side, and your fur around it starts to change that same vibrant red as the strip down your back. Gallow Gloss drags you to your feet, Dolwyn. Come along, it's time to go.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I think we've made an impression on them.
They are. You can quite easily move your way through the big old hole which you made in them. I would like to get a navigation check from someone to try and get through to Hubris. So we're looking at discern or delve or any other skill if you can convince me that it's useful.
I have delve.
Okay.
And would that just be a single D10?
It'll be delve plus cursed because this is a cursed area. So that's 3d10. And you don't have any specific equipment, I don't believe. So you're doing D4 stress to it.
Okay, so where does the third D10 come from?
So that's
your domain mastery. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could can I loan him my dimensional barometer? Because that
I don't believe that.
Yeah, but he'll break it if it goes wrong.
Oh, okay.
But you can assist.
Okay.
So, do you have the delve skill or the curse domain?
No, I do have discern, but yeah.
I have delve. I'll assist. So I take.
Cool.
I take stress, correct?
If he fails, yeah, but you can grab an extra dice.
Well, I rolled 2 7s and a 10, so I think we're good.
Cool. Fantastic. Okay, no need. Hang on, I'll do the stress for you. Cool. Okay. This is enough to finish off the delve, which you started off at half. We started off roughly halfway through, and you approach. You manage to eventually you move through these twisted corridors of bone, these tar pits, the cackling, chittering of pitchkin ringing in your ears as you limp down the corridors, and you. Slowly, the decay from the pitchkin starts to give down, starts to change into sort of, rather than wet decay, it's old, dry, dusty antiquity. There is the sense of the corridors here are worked stone, and there are pillars from a civilization which you don't recognize. You carry on down a twisting staircase, and then emerge onto a great plain. You've heard tell of Hubris. You've never been here yourself, because there's not really much reason to. It is a desolate domain. It is full of fallen. You know that poem Ozymandias?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if that was a place. So lots of trunkless statues and fallen pillars and a graveyard of empire just stretching out. There is a high ceiling and these grey feathered corvids flap in ragged flocks through what would be the sky, but is I suppose just the air. And you can see in the collapsed ruin of a weirdly modern-looking tower block, it's on its side, and it's about at like a 60-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a few lights twinkling away as this is the haven of Hubris. This is the place where people manage to eke out an existence and come to congregate around here. Now, I believe you wanted to fix your shoulder up a little bit.
Yeah, I am bleeding, and that seems like a pressing concern.
You can now that the chittering and cackling of the pitchkin has echoed far away, and you're on the relatively open plain of Hubris. You've probably got the opportunity to take some time and patch something up. So the closest thing you have to a doctor is Rigel.
Okay.
The closest thing to a doctor.
Yeah, can you stitch this up there?
I will most certainly try.
Yeah, just be a little careful because the bees.
The bees. I have
Men plus cursed or occult.
I don't have mend. Do my bone charms give me mend?
No, they let you heal more.
Okay, so I would just be using cursed.
Yeah, cool. Okay, because his there's this basically it's because it came from a cursed wound. You're able to use cursed.
Okay, and I would just roll a single die 10 for that, correct?
2 dice because you've got the divine.
You always roll one dice.
Always roll 1 dice.
Yeah.
5 and a 1.
And okay. That's not great, my dude. I'm gonna have you mark some stress. You mark 1 stress too. You know what? You don't mark 1 stress that applies. I'll tell you why. Because you're a cleaver, and you're on tier 1 of the heart, so your protection level is 1. Any other chump would mark 1 stress, but you don't. Oh yes, the other thing: reduce all the stress you take by 1, unless I tell you otherwise. Okay.
Yeah, that's. So is that for everyone, or is that just a class?
Oh, that's just for Rigel.
Yeah. And protections are like standard minuses. They don't burn.
They don't.
Like they're not ablative. Okay.
No. That is just every time you mark stress to that resistance, you mark your protection less.
Okay. I apologize to Rigel for not helping him because I look up to him, but she gets jealous if I heal people, and then I just point to thin air behind me.
I just look at you like, okay.
You can sort of see the outline of something, Rigel. You can you like there is the impression, or like there's like a slightly darker space. There's slightly almost like there's more pressure where his death is, but that could just be incidental environmental evil. You attempt to heal your friend, the devaporist Dolwyn. Unfortunately, it's a pretty nasty wound. You are not in an excellent place. There's nowhere great to heal, but this isn't ideal. And you try to stitch him back together, with these sort of bone staples and sinew, and you've done what you can, but the damage is done, and he's going to need like a proper doctor's attention.
I apologize, Dolwyn. Your wound's a little greasy from the pitchkin. The sutures aren't taking.
Oh, that's you did your best. Oh dear. We should continue on.
Look on the bright side, Dolwyn. If you are to fall down here, I'll have more bone charms. You will live on, in a certain sense.
Waxy bones. Okay. That's not comforting at all, but I appreciate the sentiment. Thank you.
The three of you, the four of you, Gallow was, move on towards the bustling metropolis of a fallen over building with some candles burning in the slanted windows, which looks to be the center of, or I suppose the waypoint before you start crossing Hubris on into the rest of the heart. There's a chap here. There's who looks to be an elf here, unmasked.
Good. Yeah.
He's wearing what looks to be like an old military uniform. Imagine when I say French Foreign Legion to you, when you if you sort of imagine the kind of Tintin vibes from that. Do you have Tintin in the States?
Oh yeah,
great.
Oh yeah,
cool. Yeah. So like that's sort of French Foreign Legion vibe. He comes out with another Spire black lantern, sort of like lightly fizzing and sputtering. Hello, bonjour, come in. Oh, good heavens, we haven't had any visitors down here for it feels like centuries. Agatha, start up the machine. You hear of a generator starting to kick in. As whoever Agatha is does something to it, and then some, a string of, call them mage lights in Spire. They are basically neon lights, or light bulbs, made by no one's super sure. They're possibly naturally occurring in Spire, but it looks like this guy has been collecting them. Come in! Oh, good heavens! It looks like the Pitchkin have really given you a thorough seeing to.
Yes, they were quite hungry.
Yes, you've got to watch them. Those blighters can't get enough Spire Black. I'll bet you they did the thing where they bite into the lantern and set themselves on fire.
Well, basically. Yes, yeah, basically.
I sympathize.
Oh, we used to have such a good time hunting the old Pitchkin coming down here. I remember. The screams, the pristine screams of a burning Pitchkin. Nothing quite like it. Anyway, come up. Agatha can see to these wounds, I'm sure. Agatha! Guests!
Out of character, next time I have dinner guests, I am saying, oh, good, you're here. Activate the machine. Because nothing says, welcome to my home. Like that. This guy's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he seems on the level. You sort of pick your way up this strange half-collapsed building, and you can see that there is so buildings at 60-degree angle. They've it looks like, and he's done it. He's built a floor at the right angle for him to stand on. And it's kind of like almost like a military tent city vibe. So there's lots of these, I suppose mess tents would be the word, or sort of khaki canvas things strung up between the buildings. He's got what looks to be about 70 to 100 of these birds, which he shot or trapped or strangled, thrown rocks at, not entirely clear. Strung up along the walls that he's been hunting, these grey corvids. Now, those of you who are interested, must go and see Agatha. She's our local sawbones, if you will. Gosh, it is lovely to have visitors down here. It's so strange to have people. There never seems to be things that come down here. There never seems to be dead things, lost things, sad, desolate things. But no, now we must drink. You too, go and see Agatha. And you.
I'll stay with Gallow glass.
Yes.
Fix yourself up.
Very good, very good. You remind me of someone. I can't help it. He says he comes over to you. This sort of what was once quite a tall, powerful man. He's now sort of like hunched down. He's got a sort of a raggedy beard and this long, because it's an elf. He's got this long flowing hair, which is still very beautiful but quite fine, which is tied back. I swear. I'd swear to the vastness beneath. I've seen you around here somewhere before. You've been in the opera.
Yes. I horrifically embarrassed myself. Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sure. Sure they wouldn't have done something like this if you'd embarrassed yourself. He looks out over the window, and you can see there is an opera house here. There is what looks like an opera house has crashed into the ground. And on a huge banner outside is the Great Adarax, and your face emblazoned across the front of the opera theatre, I suppose.
Apropos of nothing, is there a sanity roll in this game? 'Cause
you can if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't know how I would react to that. That seems very odd.
It is odd. It is very strange. You can't if you'd like to. You can make me it'll be endure plus cursed. No,
I thought we were
we'll
desolate.
go with a cult.
Yeah. Oh, a cult. All right. Well, I'm gonna roll.
No, I like desolate. We'll go with desolate because this is the death of empires. So we'll go with that.
10. I'm good with
10.
desolate. Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Then yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
This is weird. This is really strange. There was nothing like this in the city above. Seems like you must have had quite the storied career. The great hope of Spire, it says. Oh, wonderful.
What's my lady got to say about this? She looking that way? Is she a pal? A traveling companion?
She's crying. She's weeping these big wet tears, which land in the dust of this battered apartment building, and you can hear them spatting on the ground. But yeah, she is absolutely heartbroken over this.
Wow. Okay.
Probably a good sign, old bean, eh? Probably shows that you're in the right place.
Yeah. Gallow, can you go hang out with the others while they're mending? Make sure you're safe.
I suppose. Yes, I can. That's not a problem. You sure you'll be okay on your own?
No. Which is why I'm going. So.
Okay, cool. She may. You know what? You walk out, and Gallowglass looks at you, worried. And so she might come along and turn later if I feel like an NPC would be nice. But
okay,
yes,
sure.
she. Camera follows her through to Agatha. Agatha is Agatha's a midwife. And in Spire, that means she is a spider-blooded woman who has who has arts of medicine, the occult art of. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of subterfuge, and also she'd be in charge of raising unborn drow children, because drow in our fiction give birth to eggs. Or sort of, they sort of put out eggs, which they then sort of tend communally. So she is a midwife. She has 4 arachnid legs under a bustle, and also the normal number of drow legs, which you'd expect. Then she has a voice which sounds like this. Hello. No, I don't think this is her voice. What's her voice, do we think, boys?
Uh,
No, she is French, perhaps. Wait, she is.
Yeah.
She is very.
Oh yeah, you need that hoop dress for the spider legs. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't be showing off your spider legs to all the boys in town. I'm worked up. Yeah.
Is that something you're saying in character, or is that just sort of a fun?
That's just me. That's just me being me. Sorry, I'm
Okay,
walking off to my death at the opera house. Sorry, ignore me.
That's fine. Quite literally walking off to your death. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello,
bonjour,
Agatha.
Gentlemen. Bonjour, gentlemen. My amour said that you would be coming. I fired up the machine. She said, and you can see this. Like you can in the back behind this rusted metal door, you can hear a generator running. You see that Agatha's room is set up a bit like a field hospital, really. There is a wide variety of medical equipment, all of it like scavenged. Dolwyn, you recognize some of this stuff as this is so. The official army of Spire is the Allied Defense Force, which is a gag because they don't actually do defending; they just go and invade everyone. You can tell that this stuff is from the first failed invasion of Nijab to the south. So this is about 75 to 100 years old. A lot of stuff in here. This all seems to come from places which this all seems to come from military campaigns which have just gone disastrously wrong.
Oh, the good old Mark III. That's yeah.
You are au fait with my equipment. Do not worry. I'm a master. I will heal your wounds.
Yeah, I have just come down with a slight case of bleeding shoulder wound.
Don't speak so much. Your bees are coming out of your mouth. These are very curious creatures, she says, and sort of like picks one up.
Mm-hmm. I look through the eyes of the bees at her.
She's quite beautiful in a statue sort of way. Like in a like a statue of a faded Southern belle sort of way. She's like it's quite dusty, but there's it's very much like beautiful, like a painting is beautiful, rather than a person is beautiful. Trick. Okay. Now I'll teach you how healing works in Heart. It's pretty straightforward. You've got to give me a D6 resource. If you give me a D6 resource, you can remove minor fallout.
Okay. I have a Heart's Bloom rose in a glass jar.
Oh, just the thing. So yeah, we don't need to worry too much about the actual transaction. But as you go on delves, you get resources, and then you spend resources so you don't die, and that's kind of the rhythm of the way the Heart works. So Agatha graciously accepts your gift. I would not dream of asking you for payment, obviously, but I appreciate the donation. And goes and places it. What does a Heart's Blood Rose look like?
It actually is. It looks like a not an actual like biological heart, but like the symbol of a heart, like a Valentine's heart. But it's obviously so it's a flower shaped like that. And it's noted for occasionally beating when it is in bloom, or after you pluck it, just under odd circumstances. There's a lot of theories, but no one's quite sure when it beats and when it doesn't. Often murders and violence happens when it starts beating.
That's nice. Okay,
I'm sure that's a coincidence.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and for Rigel, do you have anything which you can trade? If you don't have anything you're willing to trade, you can sort of make a roll, and that's you sort of attempting to persuade them to give you stuff for free or to help you out. But there's all the risk that you can fail and inflict more stress.
I do have a resource, a freshly harvested heart that still occasionally twitches. That grants D6 wild.
Oh.
I'm not sure what the D6 wild part would.
So wild is a domain, just like cursed, and D6 is the scale of the resource. So it goes from D4 to D12, and the bigger the dice, the more valuable the resource is. So D6 is respectable, common or garden. It's like $40, I think, would be the way. Like it's like, oh, okay. It's like you think twice about it, but it's not going to change your life.
Forgive me. I don't find that my wounds are bad enough. I'll be just fine. Thank you for your offer, though.
Are you sure your arm looks so bad? Oh, your poor tendons. Yeah, and the heart's bloom beats behind her. The blood has been flowing from them. You must be nearly dry.
Quite all right.
Okay, I will be watching you.
The bones and sinew will find their way back in place, I assure you.
She reaches into the back of her mouth. Like the way that one might sort of adjust a hairpin.
She does what?
Reaches into the back of her mouth. Extracts a spider. Like not a big spider, but big enough.
Any spider, I assure you, would be big enough.
Oh, sorry. Is this an out of character fear?
No, this is that's fucked up.
Cool. Okay, great. She pulls out a little spider and then places it on her hand. It's rather wet, and she kisses it. This is my sweetling. He will watch out for you. Okay? And if you should fall, she says, and the spider sort of scampers down her hand and into your fur. If you should fall, I will know where to find you, so I can make do with the tendons. Bonjour, gentlemen. You are patched up, Dolwyn. Rigel, you are not patched up, so you are it's going to be risky if you want to try and hurt something in combat. But you've kept the nice, fresh, beating deer heart.
Yes.
Now, I have mend. I could try to heal you for free, Rigel, and we could see how that goes.
Boy,
absolutely.
I would much prefer that to Spider Nightmare.
You can knock off. So the way that healing works between characters, it's quite easy to heal stress. So you can get rid of that 3 stress he's got. But it's much harder to heal fallout outside of haunts, which is what you're in now, without special abilities.
Man, if your choice of care provider is spiders or insects, you've really messed up. I'm just saying. There's not a lot of good choices there. Yeah.
So satire.
Bees make honey, spiders don't.
I mean, yeah, it's an obvious choice, but there's not much gap between them, is what I'm saying.
That's both something you don't want providing healthcare.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it depends. If they're socialized, I'll take a bee in America.
Hey,
as soon as you can get them to me, yeah.
I'll take bee medicine any day. Better than what I got.
So can I even try to remove the fallout, or is that risky?
It's not something which you have the capacity to do. Like you can bandage him up, you can make him safe, but you can't stop his arm from hurting so much.
Okay, yeah. So
feel free to make a check. It'll be 2 dice.
Okay. 6.
Cool. Yes, you're free to remove. So, Rigel, you clear D4 stress from blood.
Okay.
And Dolwyn, you take D4 stress to supplies as you use up some of your stuff. What's your stuff like?
Yeah, well, it's a wax-based healing approach.
Right,
So,
realistic. use the word
there's some waxy balms and salves that I rub on it to make it feel better. And let's see how much I lose 3 supplies. So
3 supplies, so that puts you at 6 total stress, I believe.
Well, 3 in supplies and 3 in blood.
Fantastic. Cool. Okay. You are. It does not trigger fallout. You use up some of your wax, right? And you got some in jars. You got some which just comes from places. Don't have too many questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to sort of directly outside Agatha's mash tent. You stitch them up and share how weird those spiders are.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Adarax. Sorry, Atarax.
Yeah. Would I know if this is safer or more dangerous if I went to my weird opera house in the gray or in the regular hubris?
This place is pretty close to the grey already. It's already pretty bleak and desolate.
Mm-hmm.
You
don't have to. It's just, if you're going to put an ambush somewhere, the big sign with somebody's face on it might be.
You don't get the sense it's an ambush. This feels abandoned. This feels empty to you.
All right. Yeah. I'm me and my best gal are going to the opera. Yeah.
Okay. You walk in through the front doors. There's this, it looks like, as I said, it looks like an opera house has landed here. So it's very much like everything's sort of cracked and broken. But it looks like it landed here about 50 years ago. So there's dust everywhere. There's cobwebs, presumably from Agatha's business. There's like occasional sets of footprints where someone else has wandered through here, but it really doesn't seem very recent at all. And the sumptuous red velvet, red carpet entrance has fallen to ruin. The doors entering the doors towards the main sort of stage room, the opera hall. We're going to really run out of theatre words pretty soon, lads. Are cracked and fallen off their hinges, and there is a spotlight shining directly in the center of the stage. It's made up in what looks to be like it's the place you fucked up in.
Mm-hmm.
It is the place where you were. It is the place where you were damned, and you cannot see your death here.
Ooh, that's disconcerting.
You can hear her. You can hear her crying from upstairs. You can hear the weeping of her. Like I like to imagine she doesn't speak to you, but you can definitely hear her crying.
Is it a sound I could follow through this place?
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. You've been here before. This is the opera house which you used to go to. Like you've seen maybe 2 dozen shows here.
Had an orgy over there, blood orgy over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just had some blood over there.
Yeah.
And so you come out on what was it's very posh because it's an opera house, but the posh bar had kind of like a balcony, which looked out over the street down across the Silver Quarter of Spire. And you can see...
Did any of the wine survive the crash?
Yeah, sure, why not? That's half a bottle of vinegar here, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll let they do it. You can give me a discern or a delve check to try and track something down.
Okay.
If you want to sort of like go through the back of the bar, rather than and focus on searching rather than having anything go wrong.
I got a 10.
Oh, fantastic! Yes, absolutely. You have a bottle of an intact, dusty bottle of wine from the. It looks like it's very new wine. It looks like it was. It looks like it was bottled roughly. Well, however many months it's been since you left Spire.
Yes.
It's an anniversary wine, as it were. It is very young, but it's got a nice label. So I'll give that a D6 Haven resource.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
as you now have a nice bottle of wine. You walk out on the balcony and you see your banshee ex-girlfriend weeping and crying, and walking down the street outside, towards the collapsed over building. I say you've probably walked about. It's like a 3-minute walk to get here.
Mhm.
Not much in between.
Could I easily find some surviving champagne flutes on the way?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, okay. Like,
I'll get two.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Would you like to have a glass of wine with your dead ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Who wouldn't?
I'm trying to think if we established. I think your ex-girlfriend is still alive, right?
The way I figured it, Elfir are like very long lived, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he has a picture of a drow girl who is 100, and the book says like 60 at most with like hardships.
Mm-hmm. So
maybe that was like a young fling, and they just broke up. But when he died, he sees her.
Right. Okay. That's who has his heart. Okay. Cool.
I think that's maybe his suspicion that life should be more about quality than quantity, which started this sort of flesh nihilism downward spiral. Yeah.
You share a glass of very fresh champagne with your like acrid champagne with your banshee girlfriend on a balcony. And I'm going to say that this functions as a haunt for you.
Okay.
This is comforting, and also you spent a resource. So if you want to clear that fortune stress you marked earlier, I'll let you do that.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I
often drink when I'm unlucky too.
Yeah, weird correlation there. There is the crying stops, and your death reaches down and can't manipulate the glass. But she rests. She leans in and rests her masked forehead against yours, and you can feel the vertigo of a good death swinging towards her, as she finally stops crying, as you have assuaged her fears. You see out of the corner of your eye as you're up here, there is a figure shambling down towards the collapsed over building, where the other two are receiving medical care. It looks to be like it's someone dressed in the same military fatigues as Dolwyn is, and it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like there's a bunch of stuff sticking out of him, like he's not walking right, and he's shuddering and
and they're heading towards a building with Gallow glass and my friends.
Yes, absolutely. He's about 3 minutes walk away.
All right, I will kiss Death on the forehead. Nice date, and run after it because I don't want my friends to be eaten by whatever.
Cool.
Make me
a go for be hunt and desolate.
Okay.
As you're trying to reach something that before it happens.
Yeah. Holy shit! 10 again. 10 and 2.
Hell yeah! Okay. You close on this.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to jump off the balcony in a cool way and not get hurt?
Oh yeah, I will parkour through this ruined opera house to get out and run towards him. Yeah. You can hear this the scraping of metal on metal getting louder as you parkour through the opera house. Your death streaks behind you almost like a cloak as she embraces you round the shoulders. That's pretty cool. I think that can work. Yeah. And you manage to interpose yourself between the building and this guy. You can see that he is how
How close were you in with? Oh no, okay. You don't remember. You weren't in that close with Dolwyn. He is wearing the same uniform as Dolwyn is. He is wearing he's got a captain's mark on his breastplate. And the other thing about him is there's 14 knives stuck in him. There are a series of pocket knives, there's kitchen knives, there's daggers, and then stuck directly in his forehead is a angular, sharp-edged, sharpest knife, of course it's fucking sharp-edged, Grant. The handle is sharp and angular, sticking out of his forehead. And that is when Dolwyn and Rigel emerge to carry on with their adventure.
Is Gallow Glass with them?
Yes, Gallow Glass is there. Okay. Oh, good heavens, she says, which is I think is going to be her main sort of line. Oh my, something weird.
Yeah, weird. So I recognize Captain Joseph immediately because he's the one I stabbed in the face.
Yeah,
the,
absolutely.
Sacrificial dagger knife.
With this very dagger that's still stuck in his head.
So I am going to try to talk to him. And Joseph, why are you here? What? I'm sorry. I had to. It's doom. Let me try to help you. Are you all right? Yeah.
So
I'm just
beautiful. Okay. Like, are you sort of like going up to touch him and help him? Okay, cool.
Well, I'm walking towards him and waiting and like talking to him and seeing if he responds at all. Then
cool. Yeah. He pulls the he pulls the blade out of his forehead. Mm-hmm. There's no. Actually, there's still blood. Yeah. Like a trickle of blood streaks down his nose over the existing thing of dried blood. He plucks a pocket knife out of his neck, stabs that in his thigh, and then plunges the ritual blade into his neck, and says, "We are understanding you are interested in removing the beast."
Yes.
This is not Joseph's voice. I want to stress. This is not. Well, no. Well, okay.
Yeah.
It's his voice box,
but
it's just not his normal timbre. And also, you don't remember having this many knives in him.
Yeah, I didn't do the rest of that. I only did the one. Who are you?
We have gathered together in worship in this vessel. You did such marvelous things, and now you wish to undo them. Such a thing cannot be permitted.
Okay. Can I?
Go on.
Oh, can I try to discern to figure out what this thing's deal is?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Yeah.
Give me discern plus occult, please.
All right. Would hidden dangers apply to this, or is this?
I think it's a pretty obvious danger.
All right, that's fair. God, I am not rolling well.
You should have picked obvious dangers.
Yeah. Can I? I've rolled a 4, but is there any way I could use my succeed at a cost enlightenment ability at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
Unorthodox methods. Yeah.
This will be mind stress for you. So I'm going to call it. It's going to be D4. Well, this is pretty fucky. Call it D6. No, I'm going to type the wrong number. D6 mind stress. That puts you at 3. So it's 9 stress overall.
Okay. Yep.
And then we're going to check fallout, which we do. So, clear 5 stress. That's the good news.
Can I choose? So I could choose which ones they are.
Yeah, you can get rid of it. You get rid of whatever you want from there. Okay. However, you are going to take some mind fallout because this is odd.
Okay.
I whisper to Rigel, should I get the Agatha, the healer lady?
I don't know.
Is that a spider on your shoulder?
No, I didn't. Don't remind me.
Okay, pick one. Fight, flight, or freeze.
I'm going to choose fight because I make great decisions.
While you're while you're judging him and kind of eyeing up what's going on. So this was a discern check to understand what's going on. Okay, yeah. You get the impression that he is interested in stopping you from getting the bees out, and he said that, and that's pretty straightforward. But you also get the impression that he'd probably just cut your legs off. And also, crucially, it's not him anymore. And while you're sort of while this mad terror is thumping through your veins, he reaches up and gestures down with the twists the ritual dagger out of his downwards into his down towards his clavicle, towards his sternum, plucks that penknife and jams it back into his neck and says, "No, we should save him. This one is clean. He could be a new host, a new forum for silence. No, him." And as the other knife scrapes up, as the knives struggle for dominance. However, you did succeed on the discern roll to check out what's going on. This guy is as the monster in the book, is a cult of knives. So these are a bunch of knives that have been used in a bunch of murders, and have decided to get their act together. So they are basically possessing this guy, and it looks like it was your stabbing which was really cream of the crop, which really sort of got this knife cult started off, and so the occult dagger has been hunting you and has managed to get down here. Now, you can change your mind on fight, flight, or free if you'd like, or we can keep fight. So now you know the situation of the cult of knives and poor old Captain Joseph. Do you still want to fight this guy, or do you want to just run the hell away through hubris and onto the library?
You know what? This sounds like a problem for future me. I don't. I think the bees are faster than bloody old corpse stabbed with knives. So yeah.
Oh yeah, this guy's slow.
Yeah. We can. I can. Yeah. Let's just go. I don't like this.
Okay, cool. You hot-foot it down the dusty street, the ruined buildings, past. Yeah, that is the guy. It looks like he used to be in an opera. Oh, he's an opera here. Weird. Anyway, you run headlong down the street. The rest of you, what are you up to? You can see that the guy. I didn't name the guy. Did I name the guy?
I called him Captain Joseph. Yeah.
No,
the old fella.
Sorry,
yeah.
the old fella, the French the old military guy starts muttering and cursing and I can't believe you bring trouble to and starts like laboriously sliding a metal shutter into place across the entrance. Get out, you bastards! He says, and tries to just close off the haven so he won't have to get stabbed to death. Which is fair.
How unreasonable. It's time to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Brisk pace. Down to level 2, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes, down to level 2 of the heart. So you take off after him. You can see as you walk off Adarax, you can see your death looking mournfully at the opera house, and this looks like she's super upset about this. And you trek off down. Now I'm going to call for a delve check. This is you are going to be navigating your way from hubris to this lost library. And
should we do it through the gray? I can do that. that is.
You can do it through the grey if you'd like.
If I'm going to do it, I'd like to start here. It seems very conducive to.
So it's. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can if you'd like. Okay. Sure. You can use the grey. So just to explain to the audience, the grey is kind of a purgatory, which deadwalkers, Adarax's class, can enter. They can also bring their friends along if they get to sort of dress, if they dress up appropriately and take part in a funerary rite. It's slightly safer to move through than real space, but for anyone else, it does start adding stress to them.
Mm-hmm. Can we dress what's her name, Gallow in a veil, like a very heavy veil, so she can't see things and go crazy?
Oh, that's a nice idea. Yeah, sure. Okay. So, what? Tell me what the. Okay, I like this. You see the blasted wasteland of hubris condensing down into tunnels and vents and gantries and snickets. And you especially, Adarax, can still hear that scraping of metal as the cult of knives approaches. So you decide, probably the most sensible thing to do, probably easiest to lose him and the pitchkin and anything else which is chasing you through the grey.
Yes.
So tell me how you managed to prepare yourselves on the move. Tell me what that looks like, and then tell me how it all plays out.
Well, there's ruins and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably going to grab like moth-eaten tablecloths and whatever I can find to sort of improvise a funereal garb. And then I will have everyone get behind me in a procession with Gallow between Rigel and Dolwyn.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just going to start turning through desolate hallways until we get a little lost and end up in the most desolate of hallways. Yeah. So just sort of lose track of yourself until you end up in the other dimension. Yeah. Because it says it takes 10 minutes or so. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes or so. And like it's you're hustling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a rather quick procession. Is there a music play? Is there any sort of ritual like garb you have? Is there or is it more just like a meditative thing where you carry on walking and carry on like changing direction at random?
I would say I have to follow her. Like everyone's following me, but I'm following her, and she's the only way to lead me to it. So
yes, that's nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you you placed your hand on the doorway on a door handle, which leads into what looks to be some half collapsed building, and you feel your ghost's hand overlay your death's hand overlay your own.
That's nice.
She can. It's here in the in between that she can touch you. You can be with each other. And there is a sound like 100 candles going out at once, which doesn't make a sound. But if you can imagine that sort of gentle snuffing, and that same sort of sense of like curling, rising smoke as you open the door, and then the grey rushes out of the door and washes over everyone. It is now, everyone, aside from Gallow, who you wisely blindfolded, although we'll see how that plays out, I guess, can now see your death. Your death is here. She hovers over you, beautiful and terrible. I've got to presume you've brought these guys on into the grey before, because they all seem to know what was going on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So it is not a surprise to see his death here, but it is the only time you can see her.
I imagine it's my value add for the group, considering I mainly just mope and drink. Yeah.
You can paint as well.
Yeah, I can also paint. Maybe not the most useful thing in the hell dimension, but we'll see. Could come up.
Your death seems very protective of you here, and looks distrustingly at your fellows, but it's okay.
Wait, I can hold her hand here, right?
Yeah, you can hold a hand.
Yeah, let's go for a stroll.
Nice. Okay, cool. So with Dolwyn and Rigel, steering a blindfolded professor through purgatory, you go for a nice walk with your 7-mast banshee girlfriend. As I said, this place washes out of the room like candle smoke. Everything is slightly distant. Everything is grey. Everything, all the sensations are muted, and it's slightly easier to navigate here. Mainly because this place is already made up of death, already made up of collapse and ruin, and so by keying into that, you're able to sort of treat the walls of the building as though they were ephemeral sometimes, or kind of like find doors where there aren't doors. You can see in the distance, through the occasional window, armies marching. You are going to need to delve your way through this place. Let me go back to the story. Outside, you can see past the ruins of Empire. You can see these armies marching, and perhaps going on drills or fighting some unseen enemy. These ghostly figures who seem trapped here in this hubris. I would like you to delve through this with me now. So this will be this is a difficulty 8 delve. I'm just going to tell you it's a resistance 8, and I want you to navigate your way to the Lost Library from here. Feel free to ask any questions. We'll build the scene as we go through, and then we will get there eventually. But maybe some things will go wrong along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I roll delve?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes. Roll delve.
I think I've got 3 in that. Yeah.
Delve and desolate. Yeah, you've got 3 in that. This is your time to shine.
Oh, I got a 7, not an 8. Yeah, sorry. 7
That's
was
okay.
my highest.
7 was your high. Okay, so you succeed but mark stress.
Yeah. Where at?
Cool. So you will mark stress 2. Well, where would you like to mark stress 2? What do you think goes wrong?
Echo?
Yeah, we haven't done the Echo.
Yeah.
Echo's fun. Okay, D6 stress to Echo then, please.
All right. D6, you said?
D6
Is this a new
stress.
situation?
Yes.
So I get to wipe my mind stress.
Yes, finally. Yes, of course. That's the other thing. All the bees take your mind stress.
Yeah.
So that just goes.
Yeah. Listening to lo-fi bee hums.
Lo-fi beats.
Yeah, lo-fi beats.
Third pun of the game. So yes, you mark 4 stress to Echo.
Dolwyn, you need to make sure you behive yourself.
Boo. So you do take fallout. So
Yeah, I got it.
that. And you're going to take. Okay. Yeah. You retch up a handful of writhing creatures, pallid fat moths, translucent grubs, spiders with the wrong number of legs, throbbing parasites, and so on. Anyone who sees this and isn't ready for it marks D4 stress to mind. Let me see how this would work. I like the idea that this is... you lead the party through an empty mass grave. So just a massive pit, and there are a load of ghosts standing in a circle, staring directly at you. It looks like it might have been a shell hole at some point, but this is the most direct route through. It's fine. You're in the grey, and then there's a stutter in reality as you're already in a side dimension, and the heart itself is a parasite dimension. So things get pretty weird metaphysically, and basically the maggots, the rat. There's like you stick up like a trench. No, you just stick up a trench rat. There you go. As the trench rat, which would be burrowing into the bodies of the people who would be in here is now in your esophagus and starts clawing out. The other two of you take D4 stress to mind. Tell me what you get.
Okay.
But you do succeed, so please D4 stress to the Dolph.
All right, 2,
3.
Lovely. Okay. I'll do some rolling.
The lo-fi beats immediately stop when I see the trench rat. I'm like, oh.
Okay. No fallout yet, but please keep track of your total stress.
Mm-hmm.
So Adarax, you half retch up, half let this rat escape from your throat, and your death. Like before it's out, your death's in there in your mouth, trying to pull it out.
Mm.
And you can feel the well, you can't feel it because there's a rat in there, but we can see her knuckles dislocate and bend backwards to help reach into your mouth and pluck this rat out. And
That's real love.
Yeah. I mean, just, get you a girl who pull a rat out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And then, she very quickly breaks its neck. Hang on. And throws it down into the dust. Thankfully, you blindfolded the gnoll. So she's what's happening?
Nothing, dear. Just keep the blindfold on.
Very well.
Adarax has come down with a bad case of the rats.
I feel quite queer.
Yeah, it's natural.
Quite strange.
Adarax, are you okay?
That's not happened before. But yeah. I wish I'd saved some of that wine.
Your death strokes your hair. It's like she can't say, "Oh, poor baby," but that's kind of the motions you're getting. In fact, no, you can see she mouths, "Poor baby, poor Adarax." You can see her mouth with these cracked lips. As you progress down. So, did you roll stress inflicted on the Delve Adarax?
Yeah, I got a 2. Yeah.
You got a 2. Not bad. One better than worse. Right. Who else wants to have a pop?
I might as well use this dimensional barometer, even though I don't have delve. So I'll just roll my one die. I'm going to roll with my own die because I haven't rolled a single success with the dice pot. So, yeah. And that is an 8.
An 8, beautiful. Success and no stress mark to you.
Yeah.
Looks like everything's coming up, Dolwyn. Give me a D6, please.
All right. And I do have a D6. And that is a 6.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's all you needed. What do you? So, I've had a little, just like full disclosure, I've had an idea for a little sort of side mission. On this delve. So, without getting you instantly to the library, describe how it goes so well and how a dimensional barometer works.
Well, it's barometers to measure the pressure of the heart, the distance from the surface to the center of the heart, right? So, we hit a particular passage where it starts going up precipitously the further we go, and so we know this is a straight shot downward. It's not going lateral. And so we just follow that. And because then that'll take us right to the next layer. But yeah, we found, because it's hard to tell whether you're going down or to the side or even back up this way. But now we got it. We found a great passage to take, and it's just leading us straight down, even though it feels like we're walking upward. So don't worry about it. Don't think about it too much.
Fantastic. You go up down or down up, however you want to phrase it, towards the library, and you can see that you're starting to slowly shift into, like, from the ruins of Empire into bookshelves and threadbare carpets and those ladders, which you can sort of wheel along and get books on high shelves. It's getting increasingly corridory. There's far fewer windows, and where there are windows, it just seems like look into another room. As the lost library bleeds out into hubris. But as you you're definitely on the right track at this point, and you're sort of like, I quite like that. Are you going down or up? I forget, like physically.
It seems like we're going up. It seems like we're walking uphill and going upward, but the barometer keeps going. The pressure keeps rising the further we go, which means we're going down. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are like you're dragging those little ladders I mentioned and using them to climb between floors. Which is great. You can also at any point, if you want to say, "Oh, I want to look for resources," or "I want to find something," or "Is this sort of thing around here?" Ask me. Answer's probably yes, because I roleplay the heart and can give you what you want. Mm-hmm. On that subject, you can see through in the grey there is a swarm of ghosts, and they're not the sort of happy, happy-go-lucky, cheery ghosts who are maybe just here to sort of help out some teens. These are real, like, mangled-looking motherfuckers. They are sort of bound together, and you can see in this very, very grey world, you can see this bright streak coming down from the ceiling. You can see this bright streak of red, almost like it's superimposed through the how can I put this? In Photoshop terms, it's on the top layer. So it's there, and you can see it no matter what's in the way. You can see this red artery pumping unreal, that same vibrant red down into this building off to the side where all the ghosts are, and you can hear, just on the edge of your hearing, this weeping, crying, begging. It's someone saying you can hear it echoing through from the real world, but the non-grey, the heart. You can hear someone saying, "Please, please, please, no, please." Now, this is officially the opportunity for you to indulge some of your beats and level up. However, if you would rather just get to the magical library, I understand.
I'll go help.
Yeah. I want to help as well. Rigel?
Sure.
I will say, in terms of your beats, Rigel, this would be an excellent place to collect cursed resources from, because this is clearly hot wired into the heart. With this red arterial vein, hopefully there's someone vulnerable who. Oh yes, that's the other thing. The way that XP works in Heart, listener, I skipped over that. So at the start of the game, my players picked out some beats, and so these are all minor beats because this is a one shot. And what this means is they're kind of some things which they'd like to happen to their characters. Not things that their characters want to happen, perhaps. And so, when they do those things in character in the game, they then get minor advances and can level up, and that's kind of how the whole system works, all the way up to zeniths, which kill you and everyone around you in an exciting way, or save you and everyone, kill you and save everyone around you. It's open to interpretation. The ones we've chosen for the session, Dolwyn is interested in dissecting something or someone to do with the bees and to find a helpful text re the bees. Mm-hmm. The Adarax is interested in meeting an NPC who hates him because of what he did, and to help someone vulnerable with no expectation of reward. Mm-hmm. And Rigel is interested in sacrificing something he loves to the heart. And also to collect cursed resources on a delve, making it take longer. So this is basically the bit where I've put that in, dear listener. And you are welcome to go and help or not help or do whatever you like. So, who was charging off in there?
I think we all were.
Hell yeah! Wait, where are we going? The The pressure feels different in this direction.
No, it's fine.
There's just don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. You see that she's becoming increasingly uncomfortable and clutching the book to her chest. It's dark as well as the other thing. Like, she doesn't have a lantern anymore, so she's relying on all of your light. Mm-hmm. Are you going to exit the grey? Because if you spend another if you spend another situation in here, I'm going to start asking the others to make resist rolls. Otherwise, they're going to start bleeding out.
Well, let's exit the grey because it's surrounded by ghosts. I imagine that would be their turf.
What does it look like when you exit?
I will say it's a lot easier to get in than it is to get out.
Oh, okay.
And there's just like a separating orifice in reality. That births you back into.
Oh, brilliant.
Sort of a wet ectoplasmic slap.
Yeah, cool, okay. There's a interdimensional afterbirth sloshes out around your feet and meta placenta. Never met a placenta I didn't like. The meta placenta sloshes out around you wetly. As you enter sharp into the real world, all those you can see now in the heart. This place is very meaty. This place is very it's lots of meat, lots of bone, not the sort of dusty, decrepit sense of the grey. And you hear a noise like. You heard elks call to each other. It's like it sounds like so it's like like listener search elk call and look it up because it is fucking terrifying. It's like if Silent Hill was trying to kill you.
Oh no, Dad used to wake me up that way before he went hunting. With his elk call, it's one of the many reasons I don't like hunting.
Fuck.
Yeah, right next to your head as you're in bed. It's comforting. Yeah.
Cool work, Dad.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Well, there's this horrible keening, screech, this sort of undulating noise. Can I get a? Oh, actually, don't any of you have Rigel? You'll know what this is. You've heard this call before. This is the lair of a butcher. And so what butchers are, there's a rule, it's an absolute rule, is you don't eat any meat that grows on walls in the heart. You can eat things that are running around, but if you eat sort of construction meat, you become this nightmarish 12-foot tall, bent double antlered beast called a butcher. And you become basically a thrall to this wall of meat. They are famously territorial, will kill each other on sight, and this seems to be the lair of one of them round here. And as the interdimensional afterbirth sort of like slops and dissolves into putrid mess, you can hear that call again. That horrible echoing call, all, like very loud at this point. And you can hear that, no, please, no, please. What do you do?
Adarax, you've made a very, very bad decision letting us out of the grey here.
I'm known for those.
Yes, you won't. It may be the last thing you're known for.
Oh, don't tease me. All right, so what's the building look like?
This is like the vaults in a library or the archives. So quite. This is as the camera pans down, you can see there's this a load of the archives have been sort of shoved to the side or collapsed, and it's like this thing's made a nest. There is the rather than the wall made of meat, there's a floor made of meat. You can see that there's sort of like this creature has pushed bodies into this thing, and there is this big artery loose coming down from the ceiling and hooked into this guy. In fact, sorry, it probably makes more sense if the meat's in the ceiling. Meat's in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
This big artery, this artery is running down into this guy's into the artery in this guy's neck. Then you can see in the ceiling there looks to be an old woman, an old drow woman, has been pushed into this wall of meat, and is crying and begging as this thing turns and starts sniffing around as it smells interdimensional afterbirth.
Can I get on top of the shelves and get like a high ground?
Absolutely, yeah. Give me a sneak check, please. Because if you're doing it quickly, then you can give me something else. Great.
Oh, 1 and a 2. So, no. Hard now.
No.
In case anyone thought I was lying on my dice rolls, I should have done it better there.
No is the answer. Yeah, because you've been doing really well up until now.
Yeah, not here. Not this time. Yeah.
That's a bitches. Hello. You dash in. I like to imagine Adarax dashing everywhere. Seems like quite a dashy character.
Yeah, I'm down with dashing.
And scramble up onto the top of some shelves.
Actually, I have a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Could I have utilized my hunter's eye to give them a bonus? To get since they're interacting with, he's attempting to stealth.
Right. What does hunter's eye do?
Point out a tactically useful element of the landscape the first time an ally interacts with the element. They roll with mastery on their subsequent action.
Brilliant. Yes. In which case, you pointed out the shelves. Roll an extra dice.
Okay.
And make it a good one.
I got another 1.
Well, you can lead an Adarax to the shelves, but you can't make them stealth.
All of this, there's it's like a domino of shells that boom, 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 falling down as you scramble and roll. As this thing was maybe broadly aware someone was near, but now is definitely aware that someone's in its building. It does. Let's call it. Mark D8 fortune stress for that.
I'm just imagining Adarax is behind me. I'm like, all right, go to the shelves. And then I'm keeping watch, and all I hear is clang, clang, clang. He's like, that's not what I meant.
Well, it does form an excellent distraction. So you don't get any stress, Adarax. You don't get any fallout. You get 6 stress to fortune.
Okay.
As the butcher, you tumble down behind these shelves, and the butcher. No, I need a deeper voice. Hang on. Starts to wetly move across, and grabs the nearest shelf, and like it's made of plyboard, just overturns it and flings it against the wall, looking for you. He knows something's there, but he doesn't quite know where.
Okay.
So everyone else, you have a distraction.
Well, I've got my one move. I'm going to release the swarm.
Bees!
Yeah.
Turns out the answer was bees.
Yeah. A 9.
You got spare mind stress, right?
I do.
You can drop it on this.
Yes, I will.
So how does that work? Because I've forgotten the rules.
I add my mind stress to the stress inflicted on the target.
Lovely.
So I got 2 thanks to the trench rat. So I'll be adding. It's a D6 plus 2 now, and that is a 5 plus 2, so 7 stress to this guy. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So he has a protection rating.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make this guy slightly less beefy than the standard butcher because you guys are a starting party.
Mm-hmm.
So he has protection of 2, so that means that you mark 5. Yes. You mark 5. Tell me what happens when this guy takes half his resistance in B damage.
So he's bellowing, and his eyes are wide open to look for threats and to call out, try and intimidate, which is a classic mistake when you're fighting bees because they go right for the openings. And there's some bees just go right into the eyes, and start stinging his gums, right in his mouth, and, just, blinding and, swarming the face. It's some bees of course sacrifice themselves for the greater good, but it's a lot worse for him.
It's a living. Yeah, okay, cool. This guy, this creature screams, howls in pain, and it's like you can hear its throat closing up as these extra dimensional bees start giving it what for. What's our cleaver up to? Remember, any offensive action you take is risky.
I reach into my backpack and I pull out, with the sound of clattering bones and ripping sinew that sounds almost like torn paper, form my large extinction bow, and I'm going to shoot the thing.
Fantastic. It's cursed, so you have the domain for it. But I get to take your highest dice because this is risky.
And I also have kill.
Absolutely. Yeah. So roll 3 dice, and I take away the highest.
Well, that really sucks. I got a 6 and 2 2s. So it looked cool, but boy, did it not. It didn't work.
You fire bolts, arrows at this thing the size of a man's leg. That's absolutely massive D10 damage bolts. So they're not going to hit all the time. And when they do, they really hit. But this guy, unfortunately, the stress of pulling it back on your injured arm is more than it can take. And at the last second, you falter, and this massive arrow. Is the arrow made of bone? Is everything made of bone?
Everything's made of bone.
Everything's bone. If it could be bone, it's bone. This massive arrow. Hang on, what's the noise like? It's too funny. Just crashes into the metal wall, metal shelf that he's rolling around behind, and he leaps at you, just absolutely. He moves unnaturally quickly, like terrifying. You barely have time to think, I should get my knife before this guy's on you, and doing a shed load of damage.
No.
Don't worry, I've got more bee salve.
Oh, thanks.
So that's 6. 6 damage to you. And remember, your protection's you're on tier 2 now, so your protection's 2. That's 8 damage to you. Sorry? 4 damage to you.
Oh, but that says like,
hang on,
reverse protection.
What's your total stress now?
Where would I apply that damage to?
Oh, that will be blood. He charges into you with those antlers,
So Dolwyn did relieve the 3 blood damage I had already taken, so I'm at a 4.
At a 4. Okay, cool. Okay. This thing howls and rears back, and more rather than like tearing you to shreds, it bumps you to the ground. Like it crashes into you. There's still quite a lot of bees around the thing, so it knocks you down and puts you on the back foot. But it doesn't draw blood, as it were. Atarax, you managed to avoid utter disaster. What do you do now?
It's still up.
It's still up. Yes, it's covered in bees, and it's trying to behead the cleaver.
Yeah, I will try and shoot it with my hunting rifle and ghoulish grasp. Yeah.
What does ghoulish grasp do?
Once per, I think, session, weapon gains debilitating.
Okay, cool. So that's going to reduce his difficulty down, which is neat. The other thing is you have that power which lets you upgrade your attacks if you spend mind stress, right? You want mind stress with your ghost helps?
Yeah, I can turn it into a conduit, yeah. D4 mind stress.
You're welcome to do that if you'd like. There's probably not going to be a bigger fight.
I will do both then. I will
Very
make it debilitating conduit shot. Yeah.
Mark stress the mind.
Okay, it's a D4, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be capital D, really? Oh, I'm in the wrong chat. No wonder.
Too many chats?
Yeah, I'm having to do art direction while I play. Yeah.
That puts you to 10 stress overall, most of it fortune. So let me just check to see what happens with that. Okay, cool. So you're going to mark Fallout for the madness. But we'll come back to that. Please roll to hit.
Okay. Is this desolate? What land is this? What's the domain?
This is occult or cursed.
Okay.
Or Warren.
I will roll 2 then.
You use conduit, right?
Yes.
So then you have to add a dice.
Oh, cool.
The rules for conduit is if you mark stress, you attack with mastery for the scene, which means you add a d10.
Oh, cool. Well, I did a 10, a 7, and an 8, so critical success.
10?
Yeah.
What does that do? Does it be +1? Does it double? It upgrades your dice by 1 size, doesn't it?
Yes, I think it does. So it should be a D8 instead of a D6 for an attack.
Roll them bones.
All right. Now that I am in the right thread, I can do that. 5.
5 minus 2 is 3. Yes, you line up your shot. How does your death help?
I'll say when I hit it with the bullet, she just sort of appears and puts her finger in the wound and sort of fish hooks it back. I suppose the wound is deadly enough that she can touch it. And that is the grasp. She's kind of holding him back from Rigel. And she is a poltergeist, so I assume it just looks like invisible wound agitation that will probably piss the butcher off. But
I would like to give you so it's not strictly mind fallout, but seeing if you've got a blindfolded gnoll running around, I would quite like your minor fallout to be that you shoot her in the leg.
Yeah, it goes okay, sure.
You're snapping off shots. It's not like a single perfect shot. You're snapping off shots from your rifle. And like one of them goes in, and your ghost gets it and fish hooks this guy back around, twisting his head. And then one of them just goes clean through Galaglass's thigh.
Oh no, the butcher's armed. I hope she's blindfolded still.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, like she goes down. She screamed and starts trying to tear off the blindfold.
Well, we're not in the grey anymore, so yeah. But the butcher definitely did that.
This is worse than the grey.
Yeah, he's got a gun. Yeah,
he's got a gun. So throwing a revolver at his feet.
Yeah.
She goes down, and she's crawling around. The woman again in the roof. Oh, that artery keeps pumping blood down into this guy. You can see like the wound, the biggest wound he's had so far is from you, actually, from your shot that your death widened, and this almost Kill Bill-esque jet of blood starts spraying out and spattering across the wall.
Is this what type of fallout is this?
That would be fortune fallout.
Okay, first time I take fallout, my death loses her shit and attacks whatever caused it.
Fantastic! Okay.
And I've got Grim Reaper, which means that she is ranged. So, so a D8, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, D8.
Cool.
Please roll me a D8.
Ooh, she is very angry at him.
your ghost tears this guy to shreds. What is that? How does that happen?
She goes inside the bullet wound and just does it from the inside out. And by the time it's done, she doesn't have blood on her because she's ephemeral, but she's just doing like a pirouette where his thoracic cavity was.
I like
she came out of it.
Yeah.
She never gets smaller throughout this, or shrinks, or like compresses. She stays at normal human size and just brute forces her way inside this thing's corpse.
Oh yeah, it's like that scene from Ace Ventura where he comes out of the rhino, but in reverse. Yeah.
I was thinking like those cakes that dancers come out of, like that, but meat.
I was thinking Neo into Agent Smith, but
I imagine everyone else. It just looks like the butcher turned into a sprinkler of gore. But
yeah, like it's fucking disgusting. Like it's just legs left as this thing sputches. That artery, which it was attached to, starts whipping around like a fire hose, and spraying blood. And the woman in the roof carries on screaming as your death pirouettes gracefully, the blood droplets hanging around her. Fight's over.
Yay.
Madam Gallowglass, I assume you regret taking the blindfold off now, don't you?
Why the hell are we here?
Hello, valuable, important person. Let us take you out of that meat restraint. Let me just cut you out here with
Okay.
Like I have another weapon called a hive tool. Is that like a?
It's kind of like a little hoe.
Okay.
What it looks like. It's got a hook. It's just a thing for manipulating hives and scraping stuff out. So it's like an improvised weapon.
Okay.
I could cut her free from the wall.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely can. And like
I'll try to mend our client.
Oh, make me a mend plus haven check. This is a bullet wound.
No. 7.
Great. Okay. Cool. You might stress supplies. So that'll be D4 stress supplies. But she does. But you do manage to. You do manage to patch her up.
Okay.
It's just this is a dead end. Why are we in here?
Let's see here. It's 3. I got 4 in supplies.
Rigel, while you're climbing up the wall to free this weeping old woman, you can see there's these many fine, like with skin so thin it's almost translucent. It looks like an unfried spring roll wrapper. The best way I can describe it. You can see these to you quite beautiful hands which are growing out of the wall, and these are a valuable resource.
Ooh.
To you, they have the cursed domain, and they all look to be the left hand of the same person. Maybe this guy back when he was a person. You can tell, but you're going to free this lady, right?
Well, the hands have kind of piqued my interest now.
Yeah, cool. Okay, you saw the hands off.
I'm like, sit tight, dear. I'll be right with you.
She says.
Those late fees must be terrible. This is really... She's really dedicated to returning this book. Yeah.
Okay. You have a bag full of hands. There's going to be D8 cursed, which is useful. And you have you cut down this old woman free from her meat prison. You can see where it's kind of like there's fresh scar tissue where it's grown into her. A little bit. It seems very fresh. Is anyone going to talk to her or calm her down, or just to let her wander around?
I'm going to talk to her.
You killed him. How could you? Which one of you killed him?
What? I'm sorry, what? You didn't want us to kill him?
Kill my boy, my beautiful boy. I just wanted to get him to come out.
Do I recognize this? Does this woman seem familiar to me?
I wasn't planning on it, but it could be
Okay.
interesting. Have you got like a hook which you reckon we could use?
Well, I need to interrogate somebody. So perhaps she's one of the
dissect someone, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dissect something or interrogate someone.
Ah, right. Okay, cool.
It's one of those. But if you had a dissection up ahead, that's fine.
Well, the ghost definitely dissected the butcher.
Yeah.
She no, she doesn't seem especially like she's not. This is a sad thing that's happened that you've done.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait. So is your soul go full butcher when you become a butcher, or just your flesh?
I out of character don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I could go to the Grey and get him. Like,
oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
like you see your son, I'll go grab him.
Tremendous. I will also say that if you want to just take the beat, one of your beats is meet an NPC who hates you for what you've done.
Yeah. But she wants to see her son. Maybe I could do it in both. Yeah.
Why don't you just throw her into the Grey with him, and then we go about our business?
Well, it's help without. Yeah, we have to actually help her. I don't think.
Yeah.
How about the two Rigel and Dolwyn head off to
the library?
Yes, the Lost Library, and then you could have, and we have a scene here where you sort of attempt to get this guy's ghost back, and you can wrap things up.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. So you agree to split up and walk off. You can cover more ground that way.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman is absolutely crying, absolutely distraught. You say you can get his soul back?
You could talk to him. I can't get it. I'm not sure if I can get it back, but
yeah, yes, I'd like that very much.
I'll do my best.
You're such a good boy.
Thank you.
So I figured this.
He had a gun and shot the lady. There's nothing I could do. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Nothing. Anyway, going to hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I figured this is going to be. What kind of role do you reckon it would be to secure his ghost?
I imagine it's the Grey again, right?
Religion.
Yeah, delve in religion.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Well, I've got delve, so 2 dice. Oh no, he's gone. 1 and a 3. Sorry.
1 of the 3.
Yeah, I got 1 and 3.
No, you can get him. He possesses you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Absolutely. So you're going to mark D6 stress.
All right. I assume that is it mind or echo?
Whatever you fancy, mate.
Oh, echo, sure.
Echo it is. And that puts you at total. Are you on like 11 stress or some shit?
Yeah, I'm on. I have 7 echo, 5 mind,
so
and
you halved
6
it when you
fortune.
shot Gallow glass.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
Which brings you down to. You know what? I got a 12. If it's less than 12, you're fine.
It is less than 12.
You don't take any fallout for this, thankfully. Although, cool. For the purposes of this scene, I would like you to roleplay him as he possesses your body. You
Mom.
What's this guy's name? Kincaid. Oh, my darling boy, I'm so sorry I couldn't save you.
What are you doing down here? It's dangerous.
No, he left the library. And we were all so worried about you. And we came to get you. And, you've not been very well, I don't think.
I just got lost and I got so hungry.
You're okay now. It's okay. Shh. It's okay. Listen, all we're going to do, we're going to go home, going to get you some food, and everything's going to be just okay. Okay?
Okay, Mom.
Okay, I love you so much, precious little boy.
I'm sorry I ran off.
That's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. And you can feel him start to ebb away from inside you as he moves on to wherever it is he's going. And you are struck with a monumental headache from an alternate dimension.
There it is. Yeah.
As you come back. Thank you so much, she says. This was his, but I want you to take it. I want you to remember him as thanks. She looks deep in your eyes, and there's this tremendous sadness, but also a real joy, a real sense that you were able to let her speak to her son in a way which she would not have been able to do without you. And also if you hadn't killed him, it wouldn't have worked either. So she says, I want you to have this. It's his, but I think perhaps he'll find some use for it. And it is a handwritten book, which has heart-blooded creatures as illustrations and notes on their behavior and different kinds of varieties and mutations that he's seen.
Oh, he was a naturalist.
Yeah, broadly. So this functions as a D10 D8 Haven resource, which means that you can sort of sell it in a Haven or what have you. But also, you hit a beat. You helped someone with no expectation of reward. And she did reward you, which is nice. So you get an advance. And I think in fiction, what I'd like to do is that this guy's ghost hasn't left you. This guy's ghost is following you around, which is what the advance is.
Nice.
So pick out a minor advance as we go along.
Sure, my girlfriend's going to be real psyched that he's moving in. He's down on his luck. He was a butcher. It's just for a little bit. You know, we knew each other in college.
You bought him a butcher? The rest of you make your way down to the Lost Library as the area, the trail becomes much more bookish, much more librarian. Anyway, you can see occasionally there are people. There are now people dressed in robes, or wearing these same sort of green robes, the same color as the leather on the books, and they are adjusting and ordering books. They're making notes. Some of them are writing books out by hand. A few of them are repairing a printing press, and Gallow, furious at this point, limps in to the room. Sorry, complete mental blank. 1 second. Gallow, furious, limps up to the returns desk, to the desk at the front of the library, where there is there's someone with a woman, probably about 7 foot tall, with about 8 or 9 different lenses she can flick over her glasses, and hair up in a sort of massive librarian bun. She leans over and takes the book, and starts to note down that it's been checked back in. She turns to you. Well, thank you, I suppose, for getting me here. I'm pretty sure your friend shot me in the leg.
You have no way of proving that.
Well, do you want me to treat that?
This isn't a court of law situation. No, keep the bees. The bees are fine. Thank you. I'm okay. You've bandaged it up. It'll be fine. I'm sure we can work something out.
I mean, they're really good at digging bullets out of wounds like that.
Look, as one of the individuals who was not blindfolded, I can tell you, it was the butcher that shot you.
You didn't have an upper butt. Very well, gentlemen. She gets out a small coin pouch with like some nice stuff. It like semi-precious stones, like a couple of queens, which are high value currency from Spire and still sort of work down here. Which is overall, it's going to be each of you and the deadwalker get a D8 Haven resource, which is going to be coins and assorted gewgaws. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business to attend to. And the woman behind the desk picks her up, folds her in half, and she turns into a book. That same green leather. There's a crack, and she turns into a book. And there's a hole punched through the lower right hand corner. The librarian puts her on the return shelf, and then gets the book which she opened. Gets the book which she handed in. Unlocks each of the 3 padlocks with a key. Not with a key, with her fingertip, with her fingernail, and then opens the book. And the man who's pictured on the front, this beautiful elf-ear man, walks out. It's absolutely pristine, resplendent, wearing green robes, and the book folds up underneath into him. He looks at both of you and says, "Didn't I hear that traitor Adarax's voice earlier?" And we'll call it there.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I was going to ask if they had any books on, bees. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there is a man who looks like a load of bees.
Yeah,
off in the corner. But no, we will call it there for the purposes of this one shot, I think.
Yeah, that was great, man. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you all for coming on board and having fun with it. It is always nice when things go dramatically wrong.
Oh yeah.
And Heart is a game where things go dramatically wrong. Like Fallout has this real lovely way of cascading.
Boy, it does.
Yeah, it's a cool little mechanic.
Delightful.
Yeah. I'm glad Rigel didn't get his Fallout treated, so we could see if he had not had that condition, he would have made that shot. But
absolutely,
yeah.
But he still got the heart, so that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. How can people find out about your stuff? Grant, go ahead and plug away.
People can find out about my stuff if you go to rrdgames.com. That's the short for Rowan, Rook, and Deckard. You can get access to all the games I've written, aside from the ones I wrote when I was a teenager, which are a bit difficult and I'm glad aren't online now. But you can get access to most of the games I've released are free one-page games. We've got 56 up there at the moment, I think. And those are all pay what you want. There's all sorts of things, including like Honey Heist, which is quite famous as being the only other indie game, being the only indie game which any podcasts play. There's if you want wacky animals doing crimes, that's good, or heartbreaking zombie simulators, or one game called Reverse Beastmaster, where you just have to do whatever animals tell you to do. There's all sorts of games you can find. You can also find Heart and its sister game Spire, which are much more serious, in-depth games. Still kind of funny. Still some jokes. Pardon me. Still some jokes because I wrote them with Chris. But you can find those and download them and look at all the cool stuff we have on there. And you can follow me on Twitter at GS Howitt, where I mainly post pouty selfies and pictures of toy soldiers I've built.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think I'll be running some Heart games myself in the future in RPPR because, it was one of those games that I looked at it, I was like, I gotta run it, and then it's just, this sort of at first the system seemed kind of intimidating, but now that it's like, oh shit, I got the guy who actually wrote the game to run it. I should learn it. I shouldn't embarrass myself. So yeah, this was a really good motivation for me.
Wonderful. Like, listen, if that's what it takes for every customer, I fear I may not have a sustainable business model. But I'm glad you're so.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm quite happy. Caleb, do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh, I'm all over the place. You can find me. Just Google me. I'm good. I won't take up more of your time.
Baz.
Do you want to get a surname, Caleb? Or
Stokes. S-T-O.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Baz?
Hold up. I'm on I'm on the website. Pride and Extreme Prejudice is something that I'm going to have to do some research on because it just sounds great.
That is a game where you play young ladies of marriageable age who are in charge of giant robots and must defeat the French whilst getting married.
I am down for that. Okay. Yeah, you can find me at Future Wolfington on Twitch. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you all next time. Bye.
Bye. Ice cream van. Is that coming through on the comms?
No.
Oh, it's definitely showed up on Mike.
Oh, I thought there was an ice cream van in hell. I was like, cool.
Hell yeah.
What song do they play?
Oh, that's wacky. No, there's no ice cream van in hell. This looks so. And again, like perhaps they're doing drills or that. Just let the ice cream van finish again.
What do they play over there? We have a lot of entertainer and ragtime.
This one plays the song. Oh god, someone stopped them to buy ice creams. It's going to go again. This one plays the Match of the Day theme tune. Which is a football song. Which is a fun football song because everyone likes.
It'd be great if our ice cream vans played like the theme to Monday Night Football.
It's like, are you ready for some football?
Dude, I would
for some ice cream.
I would be getting
Yeah. You know your street's about to get lit when you hear that.
We generally have green sleeves. That's what ours play.
Nice.
Which is not a joke. They play a song written for Henry VIII. Because
I heard a couple of green sleeves here, but
we haven't
never
done
the football
anything
song.
interesting as a country for about 600 years. We are talking about the ruins of empire. It's Britain. So we have